Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, heart pounding, staring into the darkness, and suddenly realized something terrifying? Just how alone you really are? Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that every effort, every act of giving, every desperate attempt to save a relationship all just ends in empty, cold spaces? Why is it the more you try to love, the harder you try to belong, the more you feel like a stranger to your own self? You think you're strong? You think you can control your feelings. You think love will save me from these lonely nights. But then all it takes is a single moment of silence, and every anxiety comes rushing back, swallowing you whole. Have you ever felt that? The feeling that no one truly sees you, no one truly understands, no one really touches the deepest layer of your soul? Have you ever, even just once, felt like you're just a side character in someone else's story, always trying so hard just to be chosen, to be loved, to not be forgotten? Do you realize for years you've been spinning in circles, chasing a saving kind of love, a knowing gaze, an embrace warm enough only to wake up every morning with the same emptiness? Why do you keep repeating the same wounds, the same fear of being left behind? Why do you have to perform just to be loved by someone? Why do relationships only leave you more confused, more hurt, more lost? Have you ever wondered, if tomorrow everyone left, what would you have left? Is it true you keep lulling yourself to sleep believing that as long as someone loves you, everything will be okay? But deep inside, you know, when you put your whole life, your worth, your peace in someone else's hands, you sign your own sentence of insecurity and emptiness. Don't scroll past this video. Don't think I already know this. Don't believe this is just some boring philosophy lesson. Because if you're still reading, maybe, just maybe, you too are carrying the same unanswered questions, the same silent fears you've never dared to speak out loud. This is not just a story about love. This is your story about the fear of not being understood, not being needed, not being held when you are at your weakest. Are you brave enough to face it? Or will you keep running, keep chasing illusions, keep acting out a part that was never yours until the very end? Are you ready to wake up, or do you want to keep sleepwalking through feelings that were never truly yours? This is the moment to face yourself. This is when you need to stop and look right into the deepest fear in your soul. If you're brave enough, keep listening. You've loved a gaze, been intoxicated by an embrace, drowned in a promise so sweet it melted you, only to wake up and realize you don't even know who you are in someone else's story. You once thought if someone was just gentle enough, patient enough, strong enough, you'd be saved. You've given yourself away, believed in late-night talks, believed in a smile through the screen, believed in intertwined fingers you never knew when would let go. But after all that remains is emptiness and cold. When the screen goes dark, the door closes, when every promise fades like morning mist. You've shivered, afraid of being left behind, afraid of being alone, afraid that if you're not attractive enough, someone will walk away without a reason. You've sat staring at your phone, waiting for a message that never comes. You've sacrificed, you've bent, even lost yourself, just to hold on to someone. A moment, an illusion of love. Do you recognize yourself in these words? Sometimes, do you feel exhausted from always trying, always becoming a better version of yourself just to be loved and accepted? You don't say it out loud, but deep down, you long to be seen, to be needed, to be chosen by someone, not for your looks or your words, but for your real self. You're scared that if love is gone, you'll have nothing left. But that same love is what takes your peace away. Why do we keep chasing love as if it's the final refuge of happiness? If the urge to be close is real, is connection just a sweet illusion, a velvet curtain hiding the truth of deep loneliness within every human being? When your body ages, does your soul keep longing? Are you really loving a person or just the feeling of having someone fill your own emptiness? Have you lost yourself on the journey to find your other half? When love is just a contract between two fears. Imagine an evening, sitting across from someone in a cozy cafe, soft lights falling on their eyes, but inside you, a nameless fear still flickers. You look at them, smile, say sweet things, but both hearts are straining, trying to put on what they think the other wants to see. You pick your best clothes, tell your funniest stories, hide the trembling behind a mask of confidence, and she does the same, redder lips, a brighter smile, sparkling eyes, but behind it all is the fear of being left behind. The fear that if she isn't interesting enough, she'll be forgotten like everyone else. It's all invisible contracts, a silent agreement between two fears, fear of loneliness, fear of not being enough. We're not really in love. We're just filling our own emptiness with another person's shadow. At night, you lie in the same bed, wondering, do they really need me or just need someone to soothe their own loneliness? Love, it turns out, is just a stage where everyone is trying to play their part perfectly. Beauty, nature's weapon. You once thought you loved a woman because she was gentle, because of her smile, because of her good heart. But deeper down, there's an invisible pull driving you. You meet those eyes in a rush of people, and suddenly your heart pounds, your breath slows, a primal, instinctive feeling, natural selection engraved in your DNA. Schopenhauer called it nature's great trick. Beauty is just a key to unlock desire. It triggers primitive hormones, awakens the urge to possess, pushes you to chase and conquer. You don't love her. You love the feeling in your blood, the dopamine storm running through every cell, the illusion of being chosen, of possessing. Beauty is not a reward. It's a biological tool programmed to make you submit. Maybe she didn't do anything special, didn't say much, just existed, and your instinct already surrendered. And you call it love. But is it? Or is it just nature manipulating you, more skillfully than any hand that ever gripped your heart? Romantic ideals, the sweet trap. You grow up with romantic movies, where every pain is healed by a hug, every conflict washed away with a kiss in the rain. You believe that out there, somewhere, there's someone meant just for you. Just meet the right person, and every hurt will disappear. Every emptiness will be filled. You romanticize every encounter, turn every touch into destiny, every message into a sign of fate. But after heartbreak, you realize love won't save you from yourself. Two souls merging is just two egos, each trying to fill their own void with someone else's presence. You're not addicted to love, you're addicted to being needed, to being seen as irreplaceable. Love is not devotion, it's a transaction, gentle but calculated. You think you give it all, but deep inside you also want something back, even if it's just a look. Desire, the shackles of a man. You tell yourself you're strong, rational, not controlled by emotion, but just a single message, a hint of distance, and your heart is unsettled, anxious. You've skipped meals, staring at your phone screen lighting up, then going dark, hoping for a message from her. You've turned down important appointments just to meet her, hear her random stories, see her gentle smile. The more you need, the more ordinary you become in her eyes. The more you chase, the more you lose your value. Women sense this emptiness clearly. It's been programmed in them for thousands of years. They step back not because they hate, but because they can't be attracted to someone losing himself. You're not attracted by her. You're manipulated by your own biology. You think you love her, but in truth, you're a slave to instinct, to desire, invisible chains pulling you away from yourself. When you chase, you've already lost. Longing is very human, but being a slave to longing costs you your freedom. Schopenhauer once said, "A man who acts from desire is no longer free, he is a slave." If you only chase, only give without holding on to your own value, you make yourself easily replaced. The greatest attraction in a man is not in conquering anyone, but in being able to walk away at any time with a calm look, a heart untroubled, unburdened. Imagine one day you sit with her, calm eyes, slow words, not rushing, not forcing, not needing to prove anything. That's when you are yourself, and that's what makes you irreplaceable. True love, the freedom of two whole souls. A man doesn't need anyone to feel whole, but when he meets the right woman, he chooses to stay, not to complete himself, but to share. True love isn't dependence. It isn't you are my other half, but we met when we were already whole. You no longer need someone to cling to fill you up. You choose to be present, enjoy each moment, grow together, share the silence. The truest attraction radiates from a man who isn't bound, who isn't haunted by lack. He can love, he can give, but is always ready to walk away. No bitterness, no drama. Emotional transactions, the sweet addiction of our age. Today, love is often just a series of exchanges. How do I make you feel? How long can you help me escape my loneliness? Rarely do we ask, who are we when we need nothing from each other? Feelings become currency, traded, bought, bargained for. You find yourself caught in endless talks, constant emotional check-ins, always having to prove your love, always afraid of being compared or rated lower than someone else. That's why relationships now are fragile, breakable as glass. You don't really see each other, only the reflection of expectations, of fears, of the urge to control feelings. Only a free man is truly attractive. You thought you had to be the perfect man, handsome, rich, smart, funny, strong. But actually, you just need to be a free man. Free from emotional dependence. Free from the obsession to please others. Free from the urge to prove anything. A man who can sit in silence, needing nothing, not performing, not pretending, that's when he's most attractive. Women don't leave because you're quiet or reserved, but because you lost yourself around them. If you're strong enough not to be dragged down by fear of abandonment, you radiate confidence, independence, and that's the most attractive thing you can ever have. Kill the illusion, save yourself. Love is not salvation. It is a conscious choice. You don't need someone to escape yourself. You need someone who reminds you who you are, your inherent worth, your own path. Love is not a place to hide. It's a place to return without losing yourself. When you stop seeking rescue from outside, you stop blaming, stop demanding, stop fearing when someone leaves. You understand, fullness begins within. Every relationship is just a bonus, not a lifeline. Only loves that don't need each other truly last. The day you no longer need someone to live, the day you can live without acting, without fearing the loss of love, that's when you become most attractive. Lasting love isn't about holding on at all costs, isn't about vows, expensive gifts, or unconditional surrender. It's love between two free, whole people who meet because they want to, not because they're afraid. When you stop needing, people choose to stay. Not because they have to, but because they want to. You don't keep someone with promises. You keep them with the energy of freedom, strength, the energy of a man who can walk away with no regrets. That's the brutal truth Schopenhauer, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus all wanted us to remember. Don't confuse fleeting feelings with true worth. Don't let your instincts fool you into thinking you're in love, when really, you're just running from yourself. Be clear-eyed, be brave enough to face loneliness, become yourself before seeking anyone else. Only then will you know what love truly is. If you see yourself in any of this, stop, listen to your own breath. Love yourself before waiting for love from anyone else. You don't need anyone to make you whole. You don't need anyone to make you whole. You only need to be yourself, whole, free, strong. You don't need anyone to make you whole. You just need to be present, whole, free, strong. When you no longer need, you become irreplaceable. Remember, when you no longer need, they want to stay. If you've ever lost yourself in a relationship, if you've ever thought love would save you, if you've ever felt empty, tired, alone even, next to someone. Pause. Not to give up, but to begin again with maturity, understanding, and your true self. True love will never leave you lost. It's the place where you find yourself. Learn to sit beside someone, not to do anything, but just to be, to listen, to breathe together in the deepest peace. Learn to love without losing yourself. Leave a comment. I'm learning to love without losing myself. Love is not a miracle. It's a journey, sometimes thorny, but it's how you grow. Don't seek salvation in someone else. True healing can only come from within. When you dare to face loneliness, dare to stand alone, dare to love yourself, you'll never fear losing anyone again. The most beautiful love is when two people can be free, whole, and choose to stay, not out of fear, not out of need, but out of respect, understanding, and a true wish to share. Learn to listen to yourself. Learn to heal old wounds. Learn to be grateful for what's past. Let love be a place to return to, not a place to lose yourself. And finally, if you feel you've ever lost your way, allow yourself to pause, to breathe, and to start again. No rush, no acting. Just be whole, free, real. I'm learning to love without losing myself. That's the greatest lesson, the gift of freedom and healing that Schopenhauer wanted you to know.